In this video, I will be using group policy to deploy Thunderbird. I will use two different deployment options. One is where we create a group policy for our domain computers, and then the computers install the software during startup. Another one is where we create a group policy for domain users, and then the users themselves can install the software whenever they like. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and here you can find more of my videos that are related to this topic. For example, here you can find videos about my Windows Server setup, and here you can find extra group policies and settings that I'm using when I'm deploying software using group policy. And I will leave the URL in the description down below. And now I will begin this video by downloading Thunderbird installation files, and for that I will use the link that I have here. That brings me to the Thunderbird download page. And here I will select the English US version, and I will select Windows MSI 64-bit installer. So after clicking that, the download should start, and I will go to my downloads folder and wait for the MSI file to download. And now that I have my MSI file, I will right click on it, select copy, and I will go to my VMware workstation where I have my Windows Server environment. For now, I will minimize the server manager and I will move the MSI file to my desktop, and from my desktop I want to move it to a network share that is accessible for my domain users and the computers. So for that, I will open File Explorer and enter my file server name. It's srv02. And as you can see, here I have a software share. And in this software share, I will create a folder named Thunderbird. I will go inside of it and move the MSI file into this folder. And here you need to make sure that you have the correct NTFS and the share permissions. For example, if I go to Properties, Security tab and click Edit, you can see that I have authenticated users with read permissions for my NTFS permissions, and the same permissions are for my share permissions. And authenticated users covers both users and the computers in my domain. That means all the computers and all the users in my domain are able to access and execute the files in this share. So make sure that you have the correct permissions. And now we can close everything here and go back to the server manager. Because now we can start creating our group policy. And for that I will go to Tools, Group Policy Management, right click on Group Policy Objects and select New. And the first policy that I will be creating will be for my domain computers. It's where the software is installed during the startup. So I will name this policy Assign Thunderbird and click OK. Then I will expand Group Policy Objects, right click on the policy that I created and select Edit. And because this policy is for our computers, we need to go to the Computer Configuration, Policies, Software Settings and Software Installation. Then I will right click in this window, go to New and select Package. Here you need to make sure that you're selecting a file that is located in a network share. For example, this one is in my desktop, and if it will allow me to select this, but when the computers will try to install it, the installation will fail because the computers don't have access to this server's desktop. So always make sure that you're selecting files from a network share. So to access a network share, I will click here. And once again, I will type the server name of my file server, srv02. Go to the software share, Thunderbird folder, and select file for the Thunderbird installation. Here I will select Advanced and OK. Then I will go to the Deployment tab and Advanced. Here I will select Ignore language when deploying this package, because I want to deploy this package to all of my computers, no matter what system language they have. And then I will click OK and OK. And we are done creating our policy, so I will close this window. Then I will select the policy here, go to Details, and for GPO status, I will select User Configuration Settings Disabled, because currently this policy only has computer configuration in it. And I will leave all other settings on default. So now after creating our policy, we need to assign it to an organization unit that holds the computers on which we want to deploy the software. And in my case, the organization unit is here, Domain Computers 1. So to assign the policy, I will click and hold on the policy and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. Then I will click OK here, and as you can see, the policy appeared here and also in the list here. And after assigning the policy, I will go to one of my client machines that is located in the domain computers 1 organization unit and see if the policy is working correctly. So for that, I will go to my client 01 that I have here. And here we want to refresh our group policy. So for that, I will go to my start menu, I will type cmd, and I will open the command line without administrative privileges. Here I will type gp update and press enter. And as you can see, the group policy update was successful, and here we get an informational message saying that the computer detected a software installation package, and for the software to install, the computer needs to be restarted. So to restart the computer, I will type shutdown -r-t0 and press enter. Now let's wait and see what happens. And here the computer is informing us that it is currently installing the Thunderbird software package, and the installation seems to be done. So I will sign back into this client machine. And we can see the Thunderbird desktop shortcut right here. So I will double click it and try to open it. And it gives us the sign-in screen. And this means that the software installation using group policy for this computer was successful. And that's basically it. Now let's create another policy, but this time for our domain users, to allow them to install the software whenever they like. And for that, I will go back to my server, right-click on the group policy objects and select new. And I will name this policy publish Thunderbird and click OK. Then I will right-click on the policy and select edit. And because this policy is for our users, we need to go to user configuration, policies, software settings, software installation. I will right-click in the window here, go to new and select package. Once again, you need to make sure that you're selecting a file from a network share. And as you can see here, it's my file server. So I will double click on the file, select advanced and OK. Then I will go to deployment tab, and for installation user interface options, I will select basic, because I don't want to allow my users to select anything during the installation process, and I will click OK. And we're done creating our policy, so I'll close this window. Then I will select the policy here, go to details, and for GPO status, this time I will select computer configuration settings disabled, because this time this policy has only user settings in it. And I will leave all other settings on default. Now after creating this policy, we need to assign it to an organization unit, but this time we need to assign it to an organization unit that is holding our users. And in my case, it's the organization unit right here, domain users, and currently it has no policies assigned to it. So to assign the policy, I will click and hold on the policy and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. Here I will select OK. And as you can see, the policy appeared here and also in the list here. Now to test this policy, I will go to my other client machine, client 02 that I have here. And here I have this desktop shortcut that allows me to install the software from the network. And as you can see, the list is currently empty. So to fill the list, we need to update our group policy. And for that, I will go to my start menu, type in cmd. I will open it without administrative privileges. And here I will type gp update and press enter. And as you can see, group policy update was successful. So now we can refresh our software list here. And Mozilla Thunderbird package appears. So I will double click on it. The installation starts. And here you can see that the installation was successful. So I will click OK here. And now we have Thunderbird desktop icon right here. So I'll double click on it. And once again, we get a sign-in screen. And that's it for this video. In the future videos, I will show you how to deploy Thunderbird using other software deployment tools. So like and subscribe if you want to see that. And see you in the next one.